Hello, friends. You've just unlocked another chapter of the past, hidden, untold, and waiting to be discovered. This is Buried Truths. Let's view the video. Throughout history, countless brilliant minds changed the world, yet their stories remain hidden. From forgotten scientists to unsung philosophers, these geniuses reshaped humanity through innovation, sacrifice, and courage. Here are the untold stories of 20 of the world's most brilliant minds. 1. Hypatia of Alexandria. Hypatia was a pioneering female mathematician and philosopher in 5th century Alexandria. She edited works of Euclid and Ptolemy and lectured on astronomy and Neoplatonism, attracting elite students. Her intellectual presence challenged religious orthodoxy during rising Christian influence, making her a symbol of lost ancient knowledge and female brilliance. Hypatia was dragged from her chariot by a Christian mob and brutally murdered, her flesh flayed with tiles. Her death marked the fall of the Alexandrian intellectual tradition. Centuries later, she remains an icon of science silenced by fanaticism, often omitted from mainstream historical education, despite her groundbreaking role in ancient science. 2. Alhazen, Ibn al-Haytham. Alhazen was a 10th century Islamic physicist whose Book of Optics laid the foundation for modern scientific methods. While imprisoned under house arrest in Cairo, he devised the correct theory of vision, that light enters the eyes, not the reverse. His methods predated the European scientific revolution by centuries. Alhazen pioneered the experimental approach in science, using controlled testing and empirical observations. His optical work influenced Roger Bacon and Kepler, yet he is rarely credited in Western narratives. His contributions went beyond optics, touching astronomy, mathematics, and philosophy, placing him among history's earliest true scientists. 3. Émilie du Châtelet. Émilie du Châtelet was an 18th century French physicist who translated Newton's Principia Mathematica into French, adding commentary that clarified and corrected his laws. She introduced energy conservation principles before they were fully accepted and helped link Newtonian mechanics with emerging Enlightenment thinking. Despite her brilliance, Émilie was largely dismissed due to her gender and social status. She worked tirelessly through pregnancy to finish her physics work, dying soon after childbirth. Her translation remains the standard in France, yet her role in shaping physics is often overshadowed by the men she intellectually outshone. 4. Srinivasa Ramanujan. Ramanujan, a self-taught Indian genius, sent mysterious math theorems to Cambridge professor G.H. Hardy in 1913. Despite minimal formal education, his formulas were years ahead of contemporary knowledge. He was invited to England, where he stunned peers with intuitive insights into infinite series, partitions, and modular functions. Ramanujan claimed his ideas came from a divine source, goddess Namagiri, during dreams. He published over 3,900 results in his short life, many still unproven today. Plagued by illness, he died at 32. While Hardy praised him as a once-in-a-century genius, Western mathematics long ignored his cultural and intellectual context. 5. Mary Anning. Mary Anning, a working-class woman in 19th century England, discovered some of the first complete fossils of marine reptiles like ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs. Her meticulous fossil hunting on Lyme Regis cliffs reshaped understanding of prehistoric life, extinction, and geology. Yet her findings were published under male scientists' names. She sold fossils to support her family and taught herself anatomy and geology. Despite being excluded from the scientific community, her work influenced Charles Darwin and early paleontology. Only in recent decades has her legacy been fully recognized, though she remains underrepresented in most historical science narratives. 6. Ada Lovelace. Ada Lovelace, daughter of poet Lord Byron, is considered the world's first computer programmer. In the 1840s, she worked with Charles Babbage on his analytical engine and wrote detailed algorithms meant to be processed by the machine, decades before modern computers existed. Lovelace envisioned the broader potential of computing, imagining machines composing music or creating art, far beyond pure calculation. Her vision was dismissed as eccentric in a male-dominated scientific world. Only in the 20th century was her brilliance fully appreciated, making her a symbol of both foresight and forgotten female intellect in STEM. 7. Wang Zhenyi, a Qing dynasty astronomer and mathematician, broke gender barriers in Kaohsiung's 18th century China. She explained lunar eclipses using innovative models and corrected errors in existing astronomical texts. She also rewrote complex math in simple language for students, promoting inclusive education. Zhenyi studied under male mentors and rose to scholarly prominence despite Confucian restrictions on women's education. She died at 29, but her scientific poetry and treatises remained influential. Forgotten for generations, she's now celebrated in modern China as a feminist pioneer and a rare female scholar of classical science. 8. Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla, born in modern-day Croatia, revolutionized electricity with his invention of alternating current, AC. He envisioned wireless energy transmission, created early radio prototypes, and experimented with X-rays, all before mainstream science accepted his ideas. He rivaled Edison, but died impoverished and unrecognized. Tesla's inventions power our modern world, yet his eccentricity and disdain for commercialism sidelined him from corporate history. His plans for a global wireless grid were sabotaged. Today, he's a cult icon representing suppressed genius and lost technological potential, a stark contrast to how mainstream inventors were celebrated. 9. Katherine Johnson. Katherine Johnson, an African-American mathematician at NASA, calculated the trajectories that launched America into space. Her work enabled John Glenn's 1962 orbit and the Apollo moon missions. Despite segregation, she earned respect through sheer mathematical brilliance, guiding humanity's first steps into space. Johnson manually verified calculations that early computers couldn't be trusted to perform. Her contributions remained unacknowledged publicly for decades due to her race and gender. Only late in life did she receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Her story is now a symbol of overlooked black excellence in science. 10. Avicenna Ibn Sina. Avicenna, the Persian polymath of the Islamic Golden Age, wrote the Canon of Medicine, used in Europe for over 600 years. He linked psychology with physical health, studied contagious diseases, and outlined scientific principles far ahead of his time. He also wrote extensively on logic, metaphysics, and astronomy. Born in 980 CE, Avicenna mastered medicine by 16 and wrote 450 works. Despite political persecution, he continued his research in secret. Though once revered by East and West, his legacy was downplayed in post-Enlightenment Europe. Today, he's being rediscovered as a pillar of medieval intellectual history. 11. Grace Hopper. Grace Hopper was a U.S. Navy Rear Admiral and pioneering computer scientist who developed the first compiler, a program that translates human-readable code into machine language. Her work laid the groundwork for COBOL, one of the earliest programming languages used in business and government. Hopper coined the term debugging after removing a moth from a malfunctioning computer. Known for her wit and tireless teaching, she challenged bureaucracy and promoted user-friendly computing. Despite her groundbreaking innovations, she often received less attention than male counterparts. She's now honored as one of the mothers of modern programming. 12. Aryabhata. Aryabhata, born in India in 476 CE, calculated the value of pi, theorized that Earth rotates on its axis, and used a zero-based number system before it was widely known. His treatise Aryabhatiya deeply influenced mathematics and astronomy across Asia and the Islamic world. Despite limited access to instruments, Aryabhata correctly predicted solar and lunar eclipses and rejected the flat Earth model centuries ahead of Europe. His innovative work laid the mathematical foundation for later civilizations. Yet he remains largely absent from global science textbooks despite his enduring legacy. 13. Rosalind Franklin. Rosalind Franklin used X-ray crystallography to capture Photo 51, the critical image revealing DNA's double helix structure. Her data was shared without consent with Watson and Crick, who won the Nobel Prize without crediting her. She died at 37, unaware her image changed science. Franklin also contributed vital insights into viruses and coal structures, but faced sexism throughout her career. Only posthumously has she gained recognition as a key figure in molecular biology. Her integrity and brilliance reflect the silenced contributions of many women in early science. 14. Omar Khayyam. Omar Khayyam, a Persian polymath of the 11th century, reformed the Islamic calendar and wrote treatises on algebra that prefigured modern solutions to cubic equations. Though known in the West as a poet, his scientific work was far more influential than often acknowledged. His calendar reform remains more accurate than the Gregorian version used today. Khayyam also built astronomical tables and criticized Ptolemaic cosmology. Political instability kept him from greater fame, but his genius spanned logic, astronomy, and philosophy. He bridged poetic reflection with rigorous mathematics in a way few ever have. 15. Henrietta Lacks. Henrietta Lacks, an African-American woman, unknowingly revolutionized medicine when doctors harvested her cancer cells in 1951. Her cells, known as HeLa, became the first immortal human cell line, used to develop the polio vaccine, gene mapping, and cancer treatments. She was never informed, nor compensated. The ethical controversy surrounding her story revealed deep injustices in medical research. Her family discovered the use of her cells decades later. Despite HeLa cells saving millions of lives, Henrietta's identity remained hidden. Today, she symbolizes the intersection of racial injustice and scientific progress. 16. Alan Turing. Alan Turing cracked Nazi Germany's Enigma code during World War II, shortening the war and saving millions of lives. His theoretical work invented the Turing machine, laying the foundation for modern computing. Despite his contributions, he was persecuted for his homosexuality. Forced to undergo chemical castration, Turing died in 1954 under mysterious circumstances. Decades later, he was officially pardoned and honored as a national hero. His story is one of genius betrayed by prejudice, and his influence remains vital in artificial intelligence and cybersecurity today. 17. Qiansheng Wu. Qiansheng Wu, a Chinese-American physicist, disproved the law of parity conservation, a breakthrough that reshaped quantum physics. Her Wu experiment confirmed that nature distinguishes left from right, a finding so profound it earned her male colleagues a Nobel Prize, while she was excluded. Known as the First Lady of Physics, Wu worked on the Manhattan Project and trained a generation of physicists. Her work remains fundamental in particle theory. Only recently has her name emerged from the shadows of those who profited from her discoveries. 18. Ibn Khaldun. Ibn Khaldun, a 14th-century North African thinker, pioneered sociology, economics, and historiography. In his Muqaddimah, he analyzed the rise and fall of civilization centuries before Western scholars formalized these ideas. He also introduced theories on labor, taxation, and historical bias. Despite being born into a turbulent political world, he served as a judge, ambassador, and scholar. His ideas on social cohesion and cycles of empire remain eerily relevant. Forgotten outside Islamic history, Ibn Khaldun is only now being recognized as a founder of the modern social sciences. 19. Hypatia of Baghdad. Banu Musa sisters. The Banu Musa sisters, part of Baghdad's 9th-century House of Wisdom, made breakthroughs in mechanics and mathematics. Though often grouped with their male relatives, records suggest women worked alongside them in automata design and geometry, especially under Caliph al-Mamun's patronage. While few writings remain, they are associated with the Book of Ingenious Devices, detailing machines centuries before Leonardo da Vinci. Their role is largely obscured, but evidence shows women engaged in scientific innovation during the Islamic Golden Age. defying assumptions of their invisibility in early science. 20. Wang Yangming. Wang Yangming was a Ming dynasty philosopher and general whose radical ideas fused Confucianism with inner intuition. He argued that knowledge comes from moral action, not just books, an idea centuries ahead of experiential learning theories in the West. He also led successful military campaigns while writing philosophical treatises. Though initially suppressed by conservative Confucians, Wang's influence later spread to Japan, Korea, and modern Chinese reformers. His teachings inspired revolutionaries and statesmen, yet he's rarely mentioned outside East Asian philosophy. His legacy challenges the divide between action and thought, soldier and sage. Thanks for watching Buried Truths. If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden corners of history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more powerful stories from history's hidden vault. See you in the next video.